Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Exoria. So, since last episode, I just did a couple small minor things. I did move the other net over here, and I ran these a couple times. Finally got a piece of tanzanite. I think this is like my third or fourth net or something. Finally got my first piece of tanzanite. It's as common as the other gems from Biomes of Plenty, but I just haven't gotten lucky and gotten it. That is one of the gems that we are going to need. Also, I did move our waystone. You can just pick these up, just like that. And then you can move them wherever you want to put them, set them down, and then enter a name, and then there we go. So, that one is called Home. And I went ahead and sorted a bunch of stuff, so, yeah, everything's kind of sorted, sort of. I also did go out and kill some of the wildlife around here. There's those pink pixies that have like the wings and they're like an orb, and that's the Botania pixies, and they actually drop pixie dust. Then there's the little ones that look like little people that are green or pink, or green or purplish, whitish purple. Those are from roots, and they drop roots, I don't know, pixie dust or something. Let's see. What's that stuff called? Fairy dust. And then there's also the flares from Astral Sorcery that drop sparks from Botania. So I did get one spark, I got one pixie dust, then I got a few fairy dust. So 7 of those. And then in addition, I did go out and just kind of explore ever so slightly. If you take a look here, I went off in this direction a little bit. And I came across the other structure that we hadn't run into. I actually ran into 2 of them. First up, we're going to go to the Ruined Roots area. I actually changed the name on this one. And this is a roots area, but it's got a lava pit smack dab in the middle of it. And there's like this little structure here, and back in here there's like plants and stuff like that, which will be nice. I left them here for right now because I can come back and get them at any time. But still handy, still very, very handy to find. There's also a couple pyres, and then there's these rune stones from roots as well. And then over here I've got a rune circle that's not completely demolished, so you can kind of see what they look like if there's not lava right in the middle of them. There's a ton of bones right here in the middle. And then there's a little bit of dirt over here, some water, and then normally there's crops, but whenever I came to this one, all the crops were broken except for these. So I went ahead and picked those up. Oh, and there's actually a couple more crops that I missed right here. So Moonglow, Terra Moss, and then once again there's like little chests back here with stuff, and then there's like thatch roofing from roots. And that's pretty much all there is to it. We're not going to use that stuff right now, just like the Botania stuff. We'll be using that fairly soon, but not just yet. And then over here you can kind of see some of the stuff that actually comes out of the roots area. So there's like aubergine seeds, Parexia bulbs, Terra Moss spores, wild root, Moonglow leaf, Terra Moss, Moonglow seeds, Parexia blossoms, and aubergine. I don't have this really sorted in any particular order, but I just got it kind of put up there. So anyways, we're going to be picking up where we left off last episode, and the first thing I want to do is I want to do this quest here, this Regrowth. If you recall, it requires 25 pieces of dirt, and I've actually got 24 pieces of dirt right here. I didn't want to pop the quest without you guys. And then I've got dirt balls right here, so we can just go ahead and do that. Now, technically, you can go find one of those roots areas, and there's dirt right there, but anyways, there is our dirt. And then what I want to do is we're going to come out here. Oh, and I moved these barrels up here, too, so our water's more easily accessible. But I wanted to put the waystone in, like, an indoors area, so if it starts to rain, I can warp home real quick, get out of the rain so I'm not getting poisoned, which will come in handy. Alright, but let's go ahead and just lay this dirt out. I'm going to do a 5x5, because they suggested doing about 25, and that seems about right, I should think. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to take our dry pasture seed and just right-click the center and give it just a second, and it's going to spread that dry grass from Botania. So there we go, we got our full 25 blocks. You could probably do a little bit larger, but this is fine. And then we're going to shift and right-click, just like we did with the loam. And we're just going to clear through this stuff, because there's a lot of seeds that come from this. If you take a look at the dry grass here, you can actually look and see, I mean, look at all these different seeds. And if you take a look at the quest, we actually need to get seeds, pumpkin seeds, melon seeds, and so on. We pretty much have to get, like, I don't know, like all the seeds that can come from this. It's quite a bit of stuff. But on the plus side, once we get this stuff in, like, growing, it'll be a whole lot easier to make dirt, because technically we can just compost it. Of course, we have those, the strainers now set up inside of our house, and it's really easy to craft those strainer nets. So, I mean, really, we can make dirt that way as well, just as easily. So, but anyways, we might as well go ahead and just clear through all of this. Just see how many seeds we get, what kind of seeds we get, and everything. And there we go. That's what all we got. If we take a look here, what are we missing at the moment? Pepper seeds. It's the only thing that we're currently missing. Awesome. And if we take a look, we got corn, tomatoes, grass, standard seeds, turnip seeds, carrot, rice, rush, potatoes, sugarcane, pumpkin, bamboo, strawberry, lettuce, melon, rice, cactus, beetroot, and cucumbers. Awesome. Okay, so what did it take to make that overgrowth, dry grass seed? Pasture seed? Oh yeah, appetite and algae for that. Okay, it's not very expensive. So let me grab another set of this. We've still got 8 pieces of dirt left. I'll probably just use that. Or I could pop over to one of the roots areas and use the dirt there. I'll probably just use this dirt. I think 8. I've noticed you take fall damage really, really easy. Just walking down the stairs, you'll take fall damage a lot of times. So just be aware of that. Okay, so there's our dry pasture seed. And let's do this one more time. Hopefully we'll get our pepper seeds that we need. Still no pepper seeds. Awesome. I would have done more dirt, but I was thinking, like, surely we'll get pepper seeds after another 8 of them. But nope. That is not the case. So we'll just pop over to this roots area, and hopefully we'll get lucky here. We'll hit that. And go. There we go. Pepper seeds. Dun-dun-dun. Quest complete. Okay, so regrowth is done. We've gotten all the seeds that we need from that. I'm going to leave this dry grass here. That's fine. I don't need it right this second. The only problem is now I have just a ton of seeds. I don't really need pepper seeds at the moment. I don't think I need cucumber seeds. Beetroot. I'm going to start with just like the have stuff, you know. Rice. We'll plant that before too long because we'll probably be able to use it for... I imagine we'll be able to use it for slime balls at some point. But I do want seeds, cactus seeds. We'll go ahead and hold on to carrots. There's a rush from Primal Core. I'll definitely want that, but not right this second. Potatoes, I'll go ahead and plant those. Sugarcane I want. I can live without pumpkin. Okay, we're going to start with these. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab... We're going to start with the easier ones. Let's go ahead and grab some sand pieces from our strainer. And I'm going to go ahead and make all of this into sand. And we'll get our first bit of crops planted. I'm going to start with sugarcane and cactus. And then we're going to do the seeds, the carrots, the potatoes. So I was actually curious. Oh, it takes mana weave, which takes mana steel. Oh, man. Okay. I was really wanting a Terra Bozu. Like, I really, really want one. Just to be able to fight off the rain. But, okay, for right now, I guess we're going to start our crops down here. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We're going to start with crops, get some crops going, then we're going to move into a cobble gen. Alright, so we'll just put down our sand, and we'll start putting in our cactus seeds, just so we can kind of get cactus up and going. I don't know that we have any immediate need for it, but it's easy to plant. And it's not something, I mean, we're not automating this right now, so... But the nice thing is we can actually use cactus with our wand, our conversion wand, just like I've done in Sevtech. And it's actually a really good material for that, because it should work. The main thing that's not going to work is like saplings and stuff like that, because it doesn't... I don't think it checks MBT data right now, so it just kind of does whatever. So it's not terribly useful at the moment. Alright, so our cactus is down. Let's go ahead and put sugarcane down as well. And I think I'm going to put sugarcane down... Nope, here comes the rain. So I was actually hoping to get a little bit more done, but we'll get back to farming in a minute once this rain clears up. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and get into the Grow Your Crops quest while we're waiting for the rain to pass up. So they want us to make 8 pieces of fertilizer, which once we have appetite, it's not too difficult. And we also need some ash. So I'm just actually going to break this down. And then if we take our appetite, and let's just go ahead and put all that in there, and then that'll be fine. There we go. There's 12 pieces of fertilizer. And that part's done. And then they want us to make the flint grindstone, the wooden crank, and then start getting bone meal, which is going to be useful. Because there's also, if you noticed in the roots area, there's actually like sunflowers and stuff. We can duplicate those with bone meal, and then we can also grow crops and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and make ourselves our flint grindstone. So we're going to need flaked flint points, which is double flaked flint, to make that. And then we're going to need stone and some cobblestone, and then a gear, which is just 4 sticks. Then we'll grab our flint. I don't have a place to flake in here, so let me grab a piece of basalt, and I'll just toss that down right there. So at least for right now we can flake it. I want to build a roof over some more of this area. I'd really like to just have a terra bozuk, but that's alright. Okay, so there's 4 pieces of flaked flint, and then we're just going to flake it again. And it's actually a little bit more than what we need, I think. Yeah, that's fine. We got 5 pieces of it. And then we're going to have to get ourselves some cobblestone, which this will be a whole lot easier here soon, but for right now, this will be alright. So let's go ahead. 5 pieces for right now. That'll be fine. And then 3 of these we're going to have to smelt. So we'll just dump that. Oops. We'll dump our... okay. We'll dump our 3 pieces into there. And then, I guess, technically... just broke our thing. We'll probably use sticks in it, I guess. 2 sticks per item. Alright, so 6 sticks. We'll throw those into there, and then hit it with our fire starter. And hopefully we won't have to smelt stuff like this much longer. Like this episode. We'll get rid of that. And then while we're waiting for that to get done, we can go ahead and make our crank. Which is just 5 pieces of sticks. Or 5 sticks. So... that. There we go. There's our crank. And there's our stone. So let's lay this out. And then 2 pieces of cobblestone. Our flaked flint points. And then, what was the last thing? Oh, the gear, that's right. The wooden gear. And, there we go. There is our flint grindstone. And we'll just put this thing down, like, right... we'll put it right here. That'll be fine. And, or do I want to drop it down by 1? I think I want to drop it down by 1. I hate this little building that we're in. But, like, I mean, I'm going to build a little bit here, but we're not going to live here long term. I have an idea. I'm honestly thinking about the Misty World as, like, our long-term abode. But we'll see. We shall see. Alright, so we got 52 bones. I'm going to go ahead and grab, like, 10 of these, because I know we'll use a bit of bone meal. Because I was out gathering bones. That's the main reason I was exploring, was because I was looking for bones. And we'll drop them into there and then hold right click on this. Now it's important that we don't keep right clicking when we don't need to, because it will break this. It'll break the crank anyways. I always hated these things though. I hate these things so much. Because it's so manual. Alright, so there's our first bit of bone meal that's made. Okay, there's 12 pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that out. And quest complete, grow your crops. Alright, so that is done. What is this for? With grass seeds and bone meal, I can create tall grass. Breaking it should get me more seeds. I found some hemp seeds. With it, I can create string, and with string, I can be able to make a bed. Yes, I want to do that. I want to make a bed, actually. So let's go ahead and grab our grass seeds. See, I've got some dirt balls in here. I'm going to have to wait till the rain kind of clears up a little bit. But I definitely want to get grass planted outside. Start getting a little bit of greenery here. Plus a bed would be amazing. Just because, like right now, I could sleep through the night. I'm assuming that we can sleep. You know, I haven't actually gotten this far in my test world. Because I was mainly just testing and a lot of it was creative. But I would like to be able to sleep if at all possible. Okay, the rain has stopped. So let's go ahead and pop out here. And I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this sand plotted out, and we'll get the sugarcane started, and then we're going to go get grass going to make our bed, or grass going to get our seeds, and then we'll get the stuff together to make our bed. Okay, so our sand is all plotted out down through here, and we can get sugarcane going. Our cactus has already grown a little bit, which is good. By the way, if you have these barrels, I did craft these whenever I moved these barrels up here, but if you want to move these, carry-on does not work with these actually in this pack, so just a heads up. But we can just put a lid on this and then shift right click to pick it up, and then just move it wherever we need it, and set it down, and then shift right click the top to remove the lid. And let's go ahead and I don't think, oh whoops, what, sand, clay, bucket. Okay, and I think it has to be still water, right? I can never remember. I always do still water, but no, it doesn't have to be still water. So I'm not going to use still water. I'm going to put like a flowing water block there and a flowing water block there, and that should keep everything. Yeah, actually I don't know why I'm thinking that I would even need still water, because with my automatic sugarcane setup, it's usually not still water that's sitting there. So yeah, there we go. So we've got sugarcane planted, and then we can expand on it as we get more sugarcane. I'm not going to worry about trying to get more seeds for it, because that just kind of comes natural. Just kind of want to get that stuff going at the moment. Okay, so let's go get ourselves some grass going. And I'm going to pop over to the rune circle. And I'm going to go ahead and just snag all this dirt that's here, and we'll use this for our initial grass. Which technically I've got some dirt right here as well, but that's fine. I just want to get a little bit of greenery started instead of all that just black ash. We could start kind of cleaning up the area here. There's also dirt paths right here that would work. We can pick that up as well. Right now I'm just going to pick up this dirt, and then I can expand this just off camera. Alright, so our first bits of grass, I'm going to start it up here, I think. Because this is actually going to be a farm as well. I'm going to need some dirt for that. Which let's go ahead and plot out the farm, and then we're going to put some dirt out, and we'll do grass and all that. So let's see, our first farm, I'm going to bring it out 3 blocks. I'm not going to make anything too big. This is honestly going to be enough farmland for us to start with, I think. Because there's just a few crops that I want to start with at the moment. I need to make another shovel, but I'm honestly kind of waiting until I just get a cobble gen up and going. Just because the flint one, I'm not going to say it's expensive, but it's tedious to craft. And honestly, it's not that much faster than breaking stuff by hand. It is a little bit faster, but they break so fast that I'm just like, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay, so our dirt is all placed out. Let me light it up first. I'm going to put just a torch. Actually, go ahead and change this over to dirt. I'm going to put a torch on each cardinal direction from this. Oh, by the way, if you jump in water, it unlights all your torches. Okay, so let's make ourselves a hoe. Is there a flint hoe? Yeah, or I can make a stone one if I want to make just 2 pieces of cobblestone. Probably just go ahead and make a cobblestone one. Really, I could make cobblestone shovels right now. It's not that big of a deal, I guess. But I've actually got this right here. So let's go ahead and craft this up. We won't have to be making cobblestone much longer. I just figure I kind of want to get the farming underway before I worry about the cobblestone. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get our first bits of farmland going. And we'll just hoe all this out. And this is going to give us a nice amount of farmland to work with. And then I can kind of just add crops as I need them. I mean, right now I think the ones that we have picked out I think will be good for most purposes. So I'm going to start with like seeds. We got a seedy place advancement. And we'll get carrots planted out. We'll get potatoes planted out. And do a little bit more. And that's going to give us another good food source. And we can start eating things other than just fish, which is going to be good. Okay, so now let me go ahead and get all this dirt planted out. And we're going to get our grass started. Okay, so that's all the dirt I've got. we're starting to surround this a little bit. And we'll go ahead and throw down our grass seed. And we might as well go ahead and throw down a couple of these. Well, I should actually probably save them. By the way, I did make a chisel. I haven't used it yet, but it is just it's just flint and stick in this pack to make your starting chisel. Okay, so our grass is down. Let's go ahead and bone meal this. And we got a poppy. And okay, there we go. Some grass. And did they say it was supposed to be tall grass or just regular grass? I can't remember. I think it's just regular grass. Well, we're also getting some flowers, which is good. What was that? Coffee seeds. Not quite what I'm looking for. And it would be a little bit easier if I waited for the grass to spread, but that's no fun. But we do have 2 pieces now, so that's good. Honestly, bones are plentiful enough that I really don't mind. Okay, we'll take that, sure. Seriously, again? Okay, well, I got the, let's warp home. I got the thing I was after, so at least there's that. Industrial hemp seeds. Okay. But, I've got to wait for the rain to stop. It literally just rained. I'm going to go ahead and cut for a minute. I'm going to dig out a little place where our cobble gen's going to go. Because we're going to be setting that up in just a second. And I want it to be an indoor area. But I'm actually thinking about digging into this little mountain and then bringing it over. Okay, I started digging out a little bit of a room here. It's really, really fancy, right? And then it connects over into this room, and then it has its own door to the outside right there. So, I couldn't get out here to put this on the outside. I'm going to switch this over. Yeah, I may end up setting it on the inside. I don't know. This is just, it's an ugly little build. It's our ugly little home on this planet. Alright, let me go ahead and gather up our sugarcane, and that way we can spread that a little bit. Because I imagine we'll have some uses for that. If nothing else, it's a really easy way to compost. And then let's go ahead and get our industrial hemp laid out. And we're going to go ahead and use our fertilizer to grow this. And we can just keep gathering. And we're getting more seeds as well. I'm going to go ahead and just use up all this fertilizer. Because I don't know of anything else I'm going to need to like speed grow. Because I do need string. I definitely need string. Actually, not for sure. I know silkworms are in this pack. I don't think crooks are. No. Yeah. I don't see. I don't know. That's fine. Let's go ahead and spread out this industrial hemp. Because I am going to want a decent amount of this stuff growing. The rest of this is mainly just food items, but we'll go ahead and do 12 industrial hemp. And then we can take this, let's see, the string recipe is, I think that's standard actually. So there we go, there is 8 string, and then we can get ourselves 2 pieces of wool. And I'm going to need just a little bit more string. And it's ideal that you don't break the bottom block because it actually grows extremely fast. When you don't break the bottom one. So, just a heads up. Okay, so there's our 3 pieces of wool, and we can go get ourselves a bed. Yee! Which means we'll be able to set spawn point as well as sleep through the night, which is going to be good. I think we'll be able to sleep through the night. I assume we will be able to sleep through the night. Alright, so let's lay this out. Dun, dun, dun. And there we go, there is our bed. And this quest should complete. There we go. That is done. Resting. And I'm going to go ahead and just put our bed down, like, right... I'm running out of space so fast. Let's put it down right here. That'll be fine. And we can go to sleep. Sweet dreams advancement. Aha! And our spawn point is set. And is it daytime? It is daytime. That's good because, like, daytime's actually really short. Nighttime is super long. So if it starts raining, I pretty much have to wait until night ends, and it takes forever. Now I can sleep through and get rid of that nighttime, as well as probably the rain. Okay, so now that that stuff is in order, we've got the crops kind of going. I've got cactus down there that's, like, almost all fully grown. This stuff is starting to grow. It's going to take a little while, but it's not really a rush. I've got food in the form of fish, so I'm not in a big hurry for the food to get started. I just kind of wanted to get it started, basically. Okay, so let's go ahead and set ourselves up our cobble gen. And I'm just going to do a very basic cobble gen. I think it's going to be fine, especially when we have that pickaxe, the Bane of Cobble. This right here, and it's actually not very expensive at all. So we'll get that up and going here soon. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to put our... Let's see, do I want to make this actually ground level? Yeah, we'll do it like this. We're going to put the water setting right there, and it's going to flow forward. And then right over here, we're going to set up our lava. So let's go get lava. And chances are, unless it's drastically changed within this pack, our clay bucket is going to break. So I'm going to have to make another one. I'm probably not going to make another one until we get an actual furnace going. Like a legitimate, you know, cobblestone furnace. Which really isn't going to take very long once we get this thing set up. So we'll go ahead and get our bucket of lava. Let's start making cobblestone within our house. So there we go. There we go. Okay, yeah, that actually works. Okay, so that'll work. And I'm going to go ahead and just cover this up. Okay. So we've kind of got like a little cobble gen started. Now, I'm not too concerned with that until we get our Bane of Cobble. Because it just makes our lives a whole lot easier. This thing does require a couple sapphires, which I've got. Also requires a tanzanite, which... Oh, I've got 2. Good. I would like to have 2 of them for something that we're going to do later. And then we need to get ourselves a stone rod from... actually, we can do this one with the cobblestone. And then we need hardened stone, which is 8 pieces of stone and an obsidian plate. This is where... This part is a little bit more involved to do. So we're going to need to get an obsidian shard, which we're going to have to make a Gallagher. And the stone Gallagher is 4 pieces of stone, 2 sticks, and twine. So altogether we're going to need 12 pieces of smooth stone. So I need 1 more terra clay clump. Yeah, I've got plenty of terra clay clumps. Alright, so let's go ahead and get ourselves a bit of cobble. And there is our stone tool rod, or our stone rod. And then we're going to go ahead and drop our cobble in there, and let's see, I can't remember how much, 1600. That's the same as coal, isn't it? Is wood just the same as coal within this pack? Yeah, 1600, so, okay, well, that's fine. So 2 pieces of this should be enough to burn up all that stone. So we'll go ahead and get that started. And we can actually make charcoal. We're going to do that here soon. You have to use loam to do that. And let's get our stuff together. The plant twine and the sticks. Let me cut down some more sticks here. Oh wow, that wood burned like super fast. That didn't last nearly the carbon time at all. Okay, so let's get our Gallagher made. And I think, as per usual, sticks are definitely the way to go, because it's burning through planks pretty fast too. I was just kind of testing it to see, basically. Okay, so there is our stone Gallagher, and quest updated. Now the next thing, we need to get 64 cobble, then get obsidian shards, obsidian plates, hardened stone, a furnace, and then wattle and daub. But before we mess with all of that, I just want to go get ourselves... there's no obsidian down here, is there? Ah, right here. Yes, there is. Awesome. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our stone Gallagher and shift right-click this, and just kind of smack on it for a minute. And you can actually see in my inventory I've got some obsidian shards. We can't break it, but we can break it down with this stone Gallagher. Yeah, there we go. So we got 6 obsidian shards. And so now what we need to go do is... Let me actually just warp. We're going to take our obsidian shards and throw them in the furnace and let them start smelting up. Let me go ahead and take this stick. It's here. Okay, the fire has ended. That's fine. I just need 1 piece of this. So obsidian plate goes right in there. We're going to need more of those here soon, but 1 for right now will be fine. And then we'll place out our stone like so. And we'll get our hardened stone. Okay, now we are ready, I believe, to make the Bane of Cobble. So hardened stone right there. The stone rod right there. The tanzanite. And then the sapphires. And there we go. Bane of Cobble. Okay, so now this thing is unbreakable. It's soul bound. Has cobble breaker and skyblock. So what we can do is we can come over here, and instead of getting the pebbles now, when we break this, it actually immediately goes into our inventory for starters, which is quite nice. And we're actually getting cobblestone. So I can just put something on the mouse here and get infinite free cobblestone. I can stand way back here if I want to. And there we go. It's amazing. It's so good, right? And it's unbreakable, which is even better. So infinite free cobble at this point, which of course we can use for building, or we can use for crafting, or, you know, whatever purpose we had for it. So there's a stack of cobble, and there we go. There was actually a quest back here. I'm pretty sure this one, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that is for the Bane tool. But since this quest requires you to get 64 cobble, I'd suggest you just go straight for the Bane tool, because it does cut down a lot of the just grindy aspect of it, because you don't want to have to craft 64 pieces of cobblestone. That's terrible. Okay, so now we need 8 obsidian shards, then 8 obsidian plates. So let's go ahead. Let me go ahead back over there and break down a little bit more of the obsidian. Should have got it while I was over there, but, you know, I just wanted to get the cobble breaker up and going, like ASAP. Oh, and our carrots are grown. And I'm going to go ahead and use these to kind of just expand the carrots out a little bit. And it was brought up in the comments, really, really good way to harvest, like, because you need so much wood, is put the wood in your offhand, and then you can right-click, and then you can left-click, right-click, left-click, so on. You don't have to switch. So really, it doesn't take very long for me to switch because I have the Naga, so it's just like a button click, you know. But it still does speed up the process by quite a bit, which is quite good. And now that our flint axe has broken, I was kind of waiting until that broke, but what we can do is let's go ahead and make ourselves a stone axe. Much better. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and get these obsidian shards smelting up. So we'll just drop these into there, and I got 24 sticks. That should be enough to smelt all of that. And there we go. It's a whole lot easier to make tools and stuff now that we can just do cobblestone tools. Really, I should probably go ahead and, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and throw down this flint pick as well, because I really don't need it. And I can go ahead and start making cobblestone tools. And I'm going to go ahead and make a pickaxe, a shovel, and that should be good for right now. I don't really need a sword at the moment. And getting an upgrade, yeah. Which really, I don't even know how much we actually need the pickaxe, because we have the Bane of Cobble, which breaks the majority of things that we are going to encounter at the moment. But, I don't know. Okay, so there's our 8 obsidian plates, quest updated. And then we need to get the 8 hardened stone and the furnace. We're getting close to the furnace. We are going to have to upgrade the ceiling, though, for this to work. And I'm going to go ahead. I've got to cook up. Let me actually go get a little bit more cobble, because I've used some of this. It's 64. Okay, because I'm going to have to smelt all this up. Yay. I'm not excited about it. I probably should have made charcoal first, actually. Okay, I can say that I think planks are probably the best source of, you know, to put in this thing at the moment. Because the sticks, of course, you only get like 2 sticks per piece of wood at the moment. They seem to be the best. They seem better, or at least on par with, like, the wood itself, in truth. So, but let's go ahead and lay this out. We've got the first stack of smooth stone made. This took a little while to make, actually. And then we'll put in our obsidian plates. I'm going to go ahead and put in 9 for right now. And let's go ahead and, how many? I might have enough planks. I'm going to add like another 1, just to be on the safe side. It's a little over, it's somewhere between like 1 and 2 items per piece of wood. Somewhere around in there. But let's go ahead and get our hardened stone. There we go. There's 8 pieces of that. And then we can get our furnace. But I want to finish up this first. Okay, we actually don't need that extra one. I'll go ahead and pull it out. Okay, so there's 8 more pieces of smooth stone. And let's go ahead and get that extra piece of hardened stone, which we're going to use that in just a second. Alright, and then we'll lay this out, and there we go. There is our furnace. Done. Okay. Now, before we can actually use it, we have to upgrade our roof. Because right now we have cob, and now we need wattle and daub. And this stuff is not terribly expensive in truth. All it is 8 pieces of cob with wicker, and wicker is wheat with sticks. Makes 2 pieces of wicker. So, what, 5 crafts to change all that over? And then the extra piece of hardened stone, what I want to make with that is another bane tool, and this is the bane of trees. 2 more sapphire, which is actually going to be the last of my sapphires. And then 1 more tanzanite, which we got lucky and got that second one. And that's pretty much all we need. So the sapphire goes right here. These tools are a little bit OP, but they honestly feel OP, but at the same time they cut out a lot of the grind, which is nice. So let's go ahead. There's the bane of trees. And what we can do with this thing. There's also the bane of leaves, but it's not quite as important, I don't feel like, since we have the horn of the canopy. It's kind of like, whatever. But what we can do, let's go ahead and break all these leaves down through here. Kind of wish I had a magnet. That would be great. But we can take our bane of trees and pow, just chop that down. It chops trees in a 3x3, and I want to say that, yeah, I think if the tree has leaves at the top, it'll cut down the entire tree. But since I broke the leaves first, it doesn't do that. So maybe cut the tree down first. It'll just save you a little bit of time. And then use the horn of the canopy to break the leaves at the top. But either way, it's a really, really fast axe, and that means we don't have to use this axe for... I'm not for sure if we can actually cut down wood, though, into planks with it. I'm not for sure. I haven't tried that. Yes, but it counts as doing it by hand, actually. So I only got 1 piece of wood out of that. So it's still better to use, like, the stone axe for cutting it down into planks. But it's still really, really nice for cutting down the tree itself. Okay, so next up, we need wheat, because we need to upgrade that roof so we can get rid of that old furnace and get the new furnace, which I'm really, really excited for. It's definitely going to make our lives a whole lot easier. And let's go ahead and grab all the sugar cane. I'm just going to use our bone meal to kind of speed this whole process up, getting wheat. That's still not going to be enough, though. Okay, I'm just missing 1 piece of wheat, and I've got one's just about grown. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this roof that's here. All of this stuff. And there's not a tool that's going to make this faster. It's going to be slow regardless. So give me just a minute while I get this broken. And then we're going to change it over to wattle and daub. Okay, let's go ahead and check out the bane of trees if we leave the leaves up. So hit that. And yeah, see, it breaks all the way up in an instant pretty much. So we'll go ahead and just snap that off real quick. Definitely a lot better tools this episode that just make our lives a whole lot easier. For right now, I'm going to put this away, though, because I guess, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know the correct answer. Anyways, we got the stuff that we need for the wattle and daub. So let's go ahead. We're going to need to do 3 crafts of wicker. And there we go. And then we'll go ahead and get our wattle and daub. You can use this exclamation mark, by the way. And it copies basically your NEI search. So we're going to say wattle and daub. There we go. And there we go. 40 pieces of that. And quest complete. Okay, so our furnace quest is done. Let's go ahead and lay this out. And there we go. And let's remove this immersive craft furnace and replace it with our vanilla furnace. And we can throw our sticks in there. Okay, so now we are all set. Let's go ahead and let me get like just a few pieces of cobble. And we'll go ahead and just smelt some cobble. You can never have too much smooth stone. And I put sticks in there. I'm actually going to pull that out. And I'm going to put planks in there instead. I find that planks are just better in this pack. It really doesn't take long to get a stack of cobble with that pick. It's so good. Alright, so we'll throw the cobble in there, throw the sticks in there, and there we go. Our furnace is running. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, and let's see. What's this quest? Is this the Bane? Yeah. This hardened stone should allow me to make some special durable tools. Unfortunately, the uses of them are quite limited, but should still be very useful. So they do want us to make the Bane of Leaves. I don't have the other gem for that, though. I'm going to need 2 sapphires and the azurite. If I recall, it does require the same stuff. Okay, 1 sapphire and 1 tanzanite. Okay, but I still need that before I can finish out that quest. That's fine. We'll go ahead and put this furnace up. And the next thing that I want to do is, if we take a look right here, there is a quest here for the crushing table and the stone hammer. I want to go ahead and go for that. So the stone hammer, and then we're probably going to cut for a minute. The stone hammer is just cobblestone and then sticks. Not very expensive. Let me actually go get a little bit more cobble here. Cobble's like pretty much a freebie at this point because I can just walk over there and grab it. So cobble and then our sticks. There's our stone hammer. That's the easy one. Actually, this wicker I can get rid of too. I don't have any use for that at the moment. And then we need the crushing table. This is from Magneticraft, not Pneumaticraft. The crushing table is 3 pieces of hardened stone, and then we're going to need planks and wood. And it's going to take a second for this stuff to get finished. Probably going to end up making more furnaces in time. They're a little bit expensive. I mean, they require a full stack of smooth stone, which is a little bit on the expensive side. The obsidian's pretty easy, but the smooth stone, it's a lot of smooth stone. I need to have this thing running just non-stop because of the amount of hardened stone that you actually end up using. Okay, so we're all set now. So let's go ahead. There is our 3 hardened stone. And we'll just go ahead and lay that out. And then we need to get... Oh, we need to get some planks. And just a piece of wood. And we'll go ahead and lay this out. And there we go. There is our crushing quest done. Then they want us to make a copper plate. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our crushing table. We're going to set this down like, we'll put it back in here. That'll be fine. In our bedroom slash forge slash I don't even know what. And then we've got our stone hammer. And then we're going to need to make a copper plate. Now, the way that we're going to have to do this is, like for right now, it'll be a little bit easier later on. But we're going to take 9 pieces of copper ore rock. And we're going to drop this into here. And let's go ahead and get this thing smelting up. Let me grab a little bit more wood. And we still have to get into like the clay and the crucible and all that, but that's fine. Right now we're going straight for the copper. So there's our 9 copper nuggets, and then we can just take these and lay these out on the crafting grid as you would expect and get ourselves a copper ingot. And then if we walk back here, throw it down on the crushing table, take our stone hammer and just smack this a few times. There we go. And then shift right click, pull it off, and we got our light copper plate. And that quest is now done. And the first thing I want to use the copper plate for is actually an upgraded furnace. What do you know? So I want to make the craft furnace. So we're going to need smooth stone, furnace, and copper plate. That's fine. So let's go ahead and grab this. And the plate goes down right there. The furnace goes down right here. I remember this furnace from... Was it... I think Terraquise was in Sprout. I think that's where I remember it from. Oh, is that not... Oh, wait. We need more... Oh, and it's not cobblestone. There we go. There we go. There is our craft furnace. And we're just going to put this in the place of the other one. And basically what this is this is a double furnace. And that's a lot better. It can hold up to 6 stacks of items, smelt 2 at a time, and then hold 6 outputs, basically. And then it has 3 fuel slots. So I can throw in, wood into this. And then I can throw in cobblestone into this. And you can see that it's going to start smelting. And it is slightly faster than a standard furnace, I feel like. I feel like it is a little bit faster. It could all just be in my head. But even still, like I'm talking per operation, but it smelts 2 at a time. And it's pretty effective on fuel. It's actually, you'll notice that when it's smelting up 2, I think it's a little bit more efficient on fuel than the standard vanilla furnace as well. So, So we can smelt things a lot faster. We can make more smooth stone to make more furnaces. I will say that I would honestly say that that's cheaper to go ahead and just upgrade your furnace than making another full stack. You know, it's not to say I don't want more than one craft furnace. I wouldn't mind having more than one craft furnace, but I feel like it's a good use for our first copper plate. So we do need... We can make copper a little bit easier here soon, but 9 copper rocks actually isn't that bad because copper is fairly common. And our sugarcane is all fully plotted out now. And carrots are too. Okay, so all of this is now fully plotted out. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and stay on top of this stuff. I'm probably going to end up making another field here soon with like some other crops in it and just slowly expanding that out as time goes on. But anyways, I'm going to cut for a bit and do a little bit of cleanup stuff around the base and whatnot. There is a quest, I know, for making the piping and the wooden engine, and they suggest automating the strainers a little bit, but honestly, I don't feel like I actually want to automate the strainers at the moment, to be perfectly honest, because I feel like this actually makes a better chest than anything that we have available. It's a lot better than the shelves, like as far as like, it's harder to get stuff in to it, but I mean, technically what you can do is you can just take your rocks and like throw them in there, and there you go. So you can actually kind of use these as chests, like cheap chests. So, I don't know. I'm going to use them as chests for right now and just kind of store the stuff in them. So I'm not going to do anything else with the strainers at the moment. But we'll do that quest at some point when the need arises. But I feel like actually getting into the foundry stuff and getting the metal growth stuff is our next course of action because it's a little bit more important for me, I feel like. And then I also wouldn't mind getting into the charcoal and the slice and everything. So anyways, I'll be back here in just a bit. Actually, probably a little while. I'm going to cut for a bit and edit the footage and do a bit of cleanup work and stuff like that around the base. So I'll be back here in just a bit. Okay, it's been a little while since I cut, and I have been opening this area up a bit. So we have a little bit more space. The bed's kind of moved into a little bit better spot, I guess. Sort of. It's still such a rinky-dink little structure. And then I moved our crushing table over here. Nothing major. And then if we step outside here, I've started setting this up. We're going to be using this in just a moment before we end out the episode. I would like to get this up and going, ideally. So I added a little roof over this so that we can step out. It's nothing fancy at all. It's just chiseled cobblestone. I'm actually on my second chisel. Just wide bricks. And then this little area. I added a fence here just so we can, if we need to, we can access it, I guess. And then I also added a couple strainers here. And if you recall earlier, I was saying that strainers would actually probably make a pretty good chest. And I decided to actually utilize that. So let's go ahead and grab ash. I have ash piling up like crazy. And I'm tired of it. So what we're going to do is, if we just come over here and we stand over the strainer, hold shift and Q. Oh, that doesn't work in this. Control and Q, we can drop full stacks. So we'll just go ahead and drop all of our stacks of ash into there, and there we go. They're stored in the strainer, and then if I need them, I can just pull them out, and then whenever I have more ash, I can drop it. And it was brought up in the comments, you can actually, anything that just compacts in a 2x2, so like sand balls, dirt balls, ash, you know, stuff like that, you can just hover over it in your inventory and hit K, and there we go. It just auto compacts. So it does make life a little bit easier when dealing with that. So really awesome. So there we go. We have a nice place to store all this ash without just filling up cabinets filled with ash. And there we go. It's actually about as dense of storage as you're going to get in this pack, I think, at this stage. So all of our ash goes in there nicely. And then the next thing that I want to do is let's go ahead. I actually need another tree real quick. Let me chop this down. Let me make a little bit more wood planks because I'm out of those. Let me go ahead and make a cupboard. We'll use that for just easy on-site storage because it's really, really cheap. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and set this up. And basically what I want is I want automatic cactus for starters. Because it's going to help us out quite a bit. So what I want to do is let's pop under here. And we're going to make this accessible. And just right now it's not going to be. And right down here is where it's going to offload its items. So we're going to put down a, let me move this. we're going to put down a cupboard setting right there, or a shelf. And then right next to that, we're going to put a hopper feeding into it. So it should be able to feed the cactus into the shelf. So we'll just put that... No. No! I want to put it on the back of that. Okay, let me pop up there. Okay, we'll use a block. And we'll put the hopper feeding in like that. And then right here, we're going to put the shelf then setting right there. So if items get dropped onto this hopper, let's test it, make sure that it works. It should be able to feed them into that shelf. So there we go. We have a stick in there. Awesome. Okay, so that does work. And then what I would like to do, we are going to use that redstone engine. Like I said, I don't really want to use it for the strainers in particular, but I do want to use it. Oh, our first piece of cactus just grew. Let me get buckets. And do I want to do that the water first? Actually, it might be better to start with the wood pieces. So what I want to do, I want to get some slabs. And it's not going to be pretty, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. We are going to put... That should be right there. We're going to put a slab right there. And actually, I think I want to drop it down to there, in fact. Yeah. I want to put it right there. And then I'm going to put another slab. See, that's the cactus. Put another slab sitting right there. That should be good. So let me pull this up. Put a slab right there. And I'm just going to bring a line of slabs down through the center of this. And whenever we get to this last one that is actually grown, this one right here, we should see, there we go, it breaks off. And a piece of cactus falls down here. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. We're just going to have 2 lines of slabs. It's just a very simple, straightforward, you know, vanilla-esque automatic cactus system is what we're going to be setting up. I think I just broke, yes, I just broke a piece of cactus. Awesome. Man, it's like really growing all of a sudden. That one may have gotten destroyed. That's fine. It's not maximum efficiency or anything like that. It's just something for some passive cactus, which is all I really want out of this. Okay, so there we go. And we got a few more pieces of cactus. I don't remember how many pieces of cactus I need to... Oh, look at that. We're getting a lot of cactus all of a sudden. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to fill the rest of this farm out. There we go. And that's done. Let me go ahead and break this. Break this. By the way, if you place cobblestone and then break it with the vein of cobble, it still gives back the stone rocks. One thing you can do is you can chisel the cobble and then pick it up, or you can just get the rocks. It really doesn't matter because cobble's free, so I'm not terribly concerned about it. But just a heads up. It seems like it only produces actual cobble blocks if it's next to water and lava. So, you know, it's actually a cobble gem. Okay, so now that that stuff is all in order, let's go ahead and automate the collection of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get water. And these aren't actually collecting rainwater at the moment because the roof went over them. I've got to get them moved, but I'll do that here in just a bit. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put down water like right there. And then we'll put another line right there. I'm going to need quite a bit of water for this. And this is all raised just because it makes controlling the water a lot easier when they're raised off the ground. And by the way, this is 8 deep on this. So that way the water, when there's a source block at the end, it goes right to the edge. So it's going to push the cactus right off into this little collection pit. Okay, so last bit of water. There we go. And now all of the water should be flowing right to the edge, which it is. You can see. And then I'm going to put a water source block right here so it flows towards the middle. And then I'm going to throw down one more water source block. And you can see it actually just dropped some cactus right there. And it should have went into the hopper. And then I'm putting another source block right here. It's going to flow in. It's going to push the cactus into the hopper. There we go. So now cactus is automatically being collected. Let me go grab some food real quick. I've been leaving my food put up. Just because I tend to have so much other stuff. Actually, I've got this on me. I could just eat this. My nutrition's pretty decent. I'm good on protein and vitamins right now. So you can see I've actually got 14 hearts at the moment. So we just need to get carbs and fat up, which technically I could get the carbs, they're potatoes, Then I'm sure there's something I can use for fat. But I'm not terribly concerned about that right this second. Okay, so if we pop down here and we take a look, we should have some cactus that has been collected. There we go, 4 pieces of cactus right now. So the next thing that I want to do, now that we've got that done, I want to go ahead and actually pump this up so that we have a place where it's a lot easier to access it. I'm going to go ahead and chop down a couple trees, get some more wood. I'll be right back. Okay, so next up what I want to do is I want to go ahead and craft the stuff that we need for this quest. The transport pipes and the wooden engine. Now the wooden engine is not terribly expensive. It just requires, actually I think it's 4 gears. And I may end up wanting a second one of these, but I'll take care of that in a second. If I do, chances are I think I'm going to, but that's fine. So we'll go ahead and get our first wooden engine, my first engine advancement. And then we're also going to want to get ourselves a lever, because it does require some redstone. And then we're going to need the transport pipes. So let's go ahead. Wooden transport pipe. There's that. And then we're going to want more sticks real quick, which actually I may have some. Yeah. Which let me go ahead and make another dense strainer. I've been running that trying to get that gem that we need. Okay, and then we're going to need chalk transport pipe. So it is chalk dust and then 2 pieces of chalk, which we've got this. Let's go ahead, craft that out. And each of these crafts makes 8, so really 1 craft of all of this and we're set for a little while. Chalk transport pipe. There we go. And then we're also going to want the clay transport pipe. So any kind of clay and then clay blocks, which actually, yeah, we can use terra clay for this. And there we go. And then what's the last one that I need? The cobblestone transport pipe. And there we go. There's our cobblestone transport pipe. And that finishes out the quest. So our basic piping quest is done. And we get a wrench for this from Buildcraft. And for right now, I'm just going to put the wrench away. I don't need that right this second. And then I'm going to, let's see, I need an extraction pipe, an insertion pipe. I don't actually need a routing pipe for what I want to do right this second. So what we're going to do is we are going to set an extraction pipe system. And I actually think I want it to pump out and over to here, I do believe. And we've got 7 cactus in there at the moment. So, I mean, it's kind of a slow little automated system, which is good. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a extraction pipe right there. That'll be fine. Just on the side of it. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to pull out the cactus or whatever items come into this. And then what I want to do is let's take our cobblestone transport pipes and just kind of run this up over to here. And then we're just going to bring it... there we go. There we go. We're just going to bring it straight up. And then I'm going to do an insertion pipe right here. And basically it's going to insert the items. Now I'm not for sure if this is going to work with a strainer. I would actually really like it if it did, because we would use the strainers. We're going to see. We're going to put a strainer right there. And I just heard a piece of cactus break, so there might be 11 if it didn't get destroyed. Hopefully it didn't get destroyed. I mean, generally it's not going to get destroyed. Generally, yeah, see, we got 11 in here. But it is something that will happen a bit. Like I said, it's not the most efficient design, but it's good for our current state of things. Then we're going to put our wooden engine right here. It does require some power, so we're going to use our wooden engine, put a lever on that, and there we go. Free power advancement. And here in just a second, we should say, there goes cactus. It's getting pulled out, it's getting sent up, and hopefully... Oh no! Oh, that's bad. Bah! My very first death. I totally forgot that. I need to clean that lava up. That's kind of cool. It shows me a little beam to where I went. Of all ways to die first. I just walked right into it. Oh, okay. Well, anyways. We got our stuff back. At least it was like 5 feet from where we were. Whoops. Okay, it is not inserting automatically into the strainer. Okay, well then what we're going to do, let's break this off and let's put chest right there. I'm not for sure exactly where it sent the cactus to. Okay, let's try this again. I guess the cactus, that actually might be new cactus. I don't know what happened to the one cactus. So it's going to go up, and it's going to go into, hopefully, the chest. There we go. And we've got one piece of cactus. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the other cactus. It just vanished, but that's fine. We'll just call that a loss and go on, because it's free at this point. Okay, so cactus is going to start building up in here. Now, another thing that I would like to do is I want to set up another... Yeah, I'm going to set up another engine system. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a wooden transport pipe right here, and it's going to come up. So cobblestone transport pipe, and then we'll do our clay transport pipe. Put the barrel right there. The hopper feeding over, and then the chest. Okay, so now let me put this back in there. I think we have another piece of cactus coming in. If we give it just a second here, we should see the cactus gets pulled out, it gets sent up, and it gets routed over to the barrel. And you can see it's now 10% filled. Oh, wow. It's not... Let's go ahead and take the chalk transport pipe then. And we are going to... Let's snip this off. We're going to put a chalk transport pipe, and... Let me remove that. We're going to wrench this side. So basically what it means is that items come through here, but they can't come back this way. And then we're going to have the clay pipe that's putting items in, and then we're going to put our cobblestone transport pipe and just bring it up and around like that. So items can't go in here and here, they can only go this way. And then, if I was to throw this stuff back into there, and we hit this lever, we'll give it just a second to pull the items out. And there goes some cactus. Cactus is a little bit better than sugarcane as far as making compost, but that's fine. Here we go. See, it's going to route back up, and it's just going to route right back around and try to insert again. And so the items will just stay in the system. That way they don't get dumped. And honestly, this system, it's not going to have enough items coming in at like such a speed that it's going to cause any lag, because it's only going to be a little bit of cactus from this. So once this thing does get filled, I mean, I could do another compost barrel and another compost barrel and another compost barrel, so the stuff ends up finding a place to go, you know. But right now, honestly, I think one is fine, because it doesn't take all that long to compost. So if we give this just a second, you can see it's actually filled up, and it says it's composting dirt. It's 50% complete right now. And there we go. We're at 94, 95, 96, 97. There we go. Our first piece of dirt is done, and it goes in this chest. And then it's going to start filling this back up with compost. So basically, if I want to compost dirt, it's just an automated way, because composting dirt's not terribly fun to do manually. Now, I will say we're getting those dirt balls, so technically, I mean, we have good dirt production coming from the strainer over here. I mean, you can see there's dirt balls, dirt balls, dirt balls, dirt balls. A decent amount of those coming in, but I do want a lot of dirt, because I kind of want to make this place look a little bit more lively. And I want to add a lot of nice greenery and stuff around here. Especially with, I'm wanting to do more farms. I'm wanting to add, because we're about to be doing a lot of trees, because if you look at further regrowth, I mean, look at all the different saplings that we're going to be getting, probably in the next episode. So I do want to go ahead and start preparing for that. So I want to expand the grass out and have those like nice green plains and stuff like that. So I do want a lot of dirt, and this is just an easy way to kind of have a little bit of automated dirt coming through. And you can see they just keep kind of cycling around. We've got 2 pieces of dirt in here right now. And then there's now 37 because I just added that. But you can see we're just about done with another piece of dirt. So there we go. So just in like a minute, we got like 3 pieces of dirt. And like I said, I can add sugarcane to this. And I've got a bunch of sugarcane over here. Let's go ahead and grab another stack of this, because this stuff actually grows so fast. And it goes really, really far. So for example, I mean, these engines will turn black after they run for a bit. But if you throw something into that, there you go. You can see that it's basically just built up on power. It's filled with power, and it's going to stop running until it uses up a little bit of that power. So it actually just kind of stores it up, and then as soon as something comes in here really, really quickly, is going to pump it out. So there's really no downside to it. So yeah, we've got kind of just a little bit of automated dirt production now. So I can just dump a bunch of sugarcane in there and make dirt for free. Because otherwise I don't really have much use for the sugarcane at the moment, in truth. And then I've got all these crops coming in. I mean, I've already harvested them a couple times. And I mean, look at that. It fills up pretty quick, and then I'm going to add more gardens, and we'll be able to expand on dirt at a decent rate. Just something I figured that would be a nice, handy addition to our world as we expand outwards. So, anyways, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode. Next episode, when we come back, we're going to start getting into the foundry stuff, clay production, probably the slice. I should be able to get another piece of tanzanite by next episode so we can finish out this quest, basically just make the Bane of Leaves. We'll also probably get into charcoal and then the further regrowth stuff. So we can get more saplings and more tree types, which means more blocks to build with, more crops coming in, stuff like that. Between episodes, I'll probably just add a few farms and make dirt and kind of expand our dirt out a little bit. We need a lot more greenery through here, especially up around this, and start bringing out that grass and letting it kind of expand. Because we do have a little bit of grass, but it's not a lot at the moment. So I'll try to expand that out as well. What all exactly can we use for composting? Grass is an option. That's actually a pretty easy one too. Also leaves. I don't know if we can use the dead leaves though. That's the only thing. We may have to wait until... Because I know we can't use the saplings. The dead saplings. And I don't think that we can use dead leaves either. I don't see them. But once we get into further regrowth and we get some better saplings, we can actually start using those for composting. And you can mix and match. I mean, you can have however much different stuff in there that you want. Also, cooked fish is an option. Wheat, carrots, potatoes, all that stuff. Poisonous potatoes, seeds. Seeds will definitely be going in there. I don't see industrial hemp seeds. Which is too bad because I was wanting to actually dump those into there too. But we can use our wheat seeds because I'm going to have a lot of those building up as well. So anyways, next episode we'll pick back up with this and continue on with the quests and everything. And yeah, I really want to get into the metal growth especially. That's going to be really, really useful. And this foundry stuff. So we'll try to hit that stuff up for sure next episode. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or anything, let me know down in the comments, and I will do my best to get those answered for you. And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.